Welcome, everyone. Well, I'm so excited to talk with you about fertility and prosperity.
For me, it makes so much sense because, and it's why Kundalini Yoga is a pillar in the 90-day fertility fix. Is what we're doing is harnessing our primal Shakti feminine energy that sits at the base of our spine. And with that energy, as empowered women, we can, they can come over here and create conscious life with the 90-day fertility fix, or they can choose to work on their prosperity or business endeavors and creative endeavors with you. It's the same medicine. It's just how are you channeling it and with what intention are you harnessing that energy?
And we always have the choice of where we want to put that energy. And sometimes it is toward life and creation in a child.
Absolutely. It's that life force that lives in us that is, because of the conditioning, because of what we experience in our daily lives, stress, trauma is so dormant. Women don't walk around feeling full, beautiful, bountiful, blissful, because really fertility is a lifestyle. That's really what at the 90-day fertility fix we're doing, is we're instilling in women that abundance and fertility is a lifestyle. And you can only be abundant and fertile if you feel full and healthy. Fertility is a byproduct of good health.
I love that. Fertility is a lifestyle. Abundance is a lifestyle. When I personally think of fertility, especially as someone who's not actively trying to get pregnant, it's not a priority for me. But at the same time, that word always feels resonant for me, because similar to what you're saying, to me, being fertile means being in touch with myself. It means being able to be magnetic, being able to pour into myself, right? Like fertility gives way to life, whatever that life is, as you've said, whether it's a human or an idea, it's a new decor in your house. And being able to have the energy to do that is a lifestyle. And it may require, right? Like I'm moving my body every day. I'm chanting every day. I'm taking my vitamins every day. I'm putting my feet on the earth every day, whatever. And I imagine this is such a personalized experience.
Because it doesn't happen overnight. It's literally a lifestyle. It's an ebb and flow. It's a spiral. It's a dance. Yes, fertility is abundance. And I feel like similar to conscious conception, right? You can only manifest that child when you feel healthy and full. Similar, it's very difficult to manifest prosperity out of lack.
Like I've got to stay close to my values. I got to stay close to my body, and I got to stay close to the rhythm of actually how my body is reflecting what I need.
That's not the standard way that we're operating. So you're teaching the feminine prosperity principle, which is the ebb and the flow and taking care of yourself and giving from a cup that's overflowing, instead of like burning the midnight oil in corporate America and I have to have this baby right now and I'm in my 30s and I need to go freeze my eggs and I need to go to IVF and IUI and this isn't working and I need to push the needle and why isn't my body like doing what it needs to do? Those are completely two different models of fertility and prosperity. And so what you and I are inviting women to do is to lean in, and that's a very hyper masculine way of approaching life. And so what I feel that, Kundalini Yoga or studying the moon and your inner moon and your emotions provides you is a completely feminine approach.
And I think part of it is because you got to be in touch with your body. What good is fertility if you don't have your health? What good is doing the IVF or whatever potential procedure procedure or process. I've heard a lot of women disclose actually how doing IVF, they felt sick constantly, that it was so hard on their bodies. I know both of us have studied herbalism as well, and the amount of stress that it can put on the liver, no one talks much about either. So thinking just about, to me, this is about body-centered work and putting the body back at the center of our choices rather than the body being a second thought after, like you said.
Yeah. And it's like the lighting up in your body. You should approach your manifestation or your abundance work from a body that feels very much alive, you know, that very much feels turned on, you know, and even conceiving, you know, again, the masculine principle. Let me pee on this stick. Let me hound my partner for intimacy because this is a chore now because we want to have a baby, instead of, wait a minute, do I feel healthy? Do I feel full? Do I feel turned on? Do I desire my partner? Do I feel wet? That can manifest a lot faster. The feminine principle.
It takes a lot of courage, you know, to be like, I have, you know, miscarried. I have not carried a pregnancy all the way through. It takes a lot of courage to say those things, know those things, and be like, and it's still possible, right?
Yeah, and more life to come through me, either way, right? Whether that's a baby or just me feeling more in love with
and that's
life.
a win-win, right? It's like, if you're going to come and you're either going to fall in love with your life the way it is or create the thing that you want to happen in your life, it's win-win. But you got to also be committed to being like, I want to love my life.
Or I just want to change. Like, I feel for me, and you know, I help women with natural birth as well. So I tell them, whether they're trying to conceive naturally or trying to have the baby naturally, I tell them, all you need is the desire, is that deep desire. And from there, everything has a solution. I can meet you there and we can get to work. We can call in on your ancestors and the divine, and it's going to get done. So it's like, do you want to change the circumstances?
Yeah, that will to change is really powerful. How is that impacting my hormones? Let me do an experiment. Let me see if I start my day 5 minutes quiet, meditating. How does that impact? Yeah, I think that's one thing I'm very thankful to the practice for is, I like pleasure. I like dopamine hits. And I've also seen how for my constitution, and I think everyone's different depending on the life they've lived, the life they live. But I know for me, it is really important that I have a healthy dosage of that sort of bitter element in my life and a practice of building grit in my life. Especially that grit, I think for me is very important.
Honestly, I used to be a like hot yoga snob, right? Because like corporate America, super like achievement oriented and type A, you know, corporate boss, BI, all the things. And somebody had mentioned Kundalini Yoga. I tried it. So fast forward, I have my son, and Kundalini Yoga is what helped me build that grit for that natural labor that I had, right? This esoteric practice has literally changed all of my life. Okay, how can I walk away from a practice that's literally put me in touch with my destiny, my potential, my creativity, that is defines how I show up in this world? Because of this modality, so many women have healed. Yep. That swag, that attractive swag radiate, that magnetic, you know, and that's why I tell women, like, you want to feel good when you're trying to call through that ancestor that's trying to come through that portal to your womb to continue their legacy. You want to feel fertile.
And that, so I think that this practice helps us to build, like, I think for me, that word grit is important because it builds that ability to be like, the world and people are going to have their opinions. That's not going anywhere. And my job is not to actually control anyone's opinion. My job is to walk my destiny.
For moms, there's plenty of moms. Look, I have low AMH. I'm damn near 45. I have fibroids, endometriosis, block cysts. I've had miscarriages more than I'd like to, admit. I have trauma, but I know I'm supposed to be a mom. Who's going to say no to that kind of grit?
And I think that's the energy on a level is what we're both talking about building. Because even when I was listening to you before, I was going to ask the question, well, do you believe that everyone who thinks they want to get pregnant, what you just said though about building that, I have endometriosis, I've had miscarriages, and this is what's supposed to be. Help me. That's a different energy than the question that I just.
That's a different energy.
And I'm aware of that. But that's
the women that we help at the 90-day fertility fix, they're very clear. They're very clear on what they want. They know that their obstacles to conceiving have not been because something's wrong with them, inherently wrong with them. We help them see this challenge as an opportunity to heal. They're ready to take that as an opportunity to heal. They see it as a call from the spirit of their unborn child to elevate their bloodline and do some deep, heavy lifting. That's completely different from, I think my purpose is to be a mom, than to be like, I'm going to be the one to stop these cycles. I have fibroids, my mom had fibroids, that whole thing. I want to be a mom, and I'm going to answer that call of my ancestors to do this healing. And that healing is going to come with the result of me being a mom. Because it is a very particular type of initiation, right? It's a different type of initiation, but we're here for the women that want to see their challenges as an invitation to heal. But my last question to you is, what does prosperity mean for
first
you?
And foremost, vitality, peace of mind, clarity. And I know my destiny. I know who I am. And I am not looking for my external world to validate it. So let me keep showing up. And it's having the health and the vitality and the illustriousness to be able to carry forth whatever that is for each person.
But for me, the answer to what prosperity is for me has changed. I've noticed that it's changed, just like my love language changed in relationships. And for me right now, prosperity is peace. And that has come from a lot of mental and emotional turmoil. I didn't value that as much in the past, like I do right now today. And I'm, so thank you, and let's keep this going.
Thank you everyone for joining us, and reach out to either of us with any questions or curiosities.
Yes.